played clown many years, and my act was the motor car that fell to pieces, which was an old Model T Ford. And in 1966, my agent... motor car. Many years ago, way back in 1960s, I was Pierre the Clown. I played clown many years, and my act was the motor car that fell to pieces, which was an old Model red. And of course, the wood... at Saint-Tropez. Chitty Jenny Leather, which I own, that was in most of the driving sequences. There's one or two small models, yes. There was a little miniature made of that for various scenes. In 1973, I did inquire what is going to be the future of these wonderful motor cars. I said, well, I would be very, very interested. And so I then bought 2 Chitties from Cubby Broccoli. Even now, 30 years later, Chitty still continues to tour the British Isles, and she's very well known the world over, wherever you go. We've been to Germany, we've been to France, we've also been to Australia, and various other places around the world. And it's magic. When I go around, people turn their heads so much they nearly turn off. It's quite phantasmagorical. Chitty might be magical, but still has to be cleaned. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh, this is Chitty's gleaming bonnet. It's the wonderful aluminium made out of the tin bath, but it's got to be cleaned all the time. So if anybody can clean it, give me a hand and we'll do it together. All right? This is the... lived his own life. Just lived his own life the way he's...
Chitty, chitty, bang, bang. I'm Jeremy Potts. My sister Jemima and I love to play in the wreck of a champion race car here at Mr. Coggins' garage. Hang on, I'd yell, turning the wheel. One day, Mr. Coggins got an offer to sell the old race car for scrap metal. We raced home to tell.
He likes it. Caractacus Potts was kind of a rebel. It's just an instinctive with me. If I see an opportunity in a scene to put something physical in, I'll just put it in. So a lot of those things happen right on the set at the moment. Thank you. That just seemed to fit that character. He was a little was married. There was no love interest, no love. Lionel's. You can see me or not. This number out. And they. Most of those guys were a good 15 years younger than I am. Prince Ludwig's castle on the back lot at Pinewood. You spare any expense at all. In the beginning, I think I did see some of the storyboards, and I thought the stuff that they shot was better looking than that. It was definitely a Cubby Broccoli production. It was like a James Bond movie. Set. And it looked exactly like, because we shot at the real castle. In Hohenschwangau, is it? Something like that. They didn't spare any expense at all. In the beginning, I think I did see some of the storyboards, and I thought the stuff that they shot was better looking than that. Ken Adams designed the car. It looked authentic without actually resembling any car that ever existed. There was nothing fake about it. The joinery and the wood, everything was gorgeous. That had that beautiful classic boat back on it. And I like the way in the movie you see Kwchittychitty taking a boat out into the barn, and he rips the head of the fireplace off. Well, Lionel is saying, and the big brown bear came
lolloping over the mountain.
I'll never forget the line. They had a 4-cylinder Ford engine in it, which was not a lot of power for a big, heavy car like that. I drove it quite a lot. I think there were about 6. There was the lighter one that we used on blue screen for the flying, which I had done before. I'd done a lot of rear projection and blue screen work. That was, what, 1967? That's a long time ago. Technically, those shots hold up as well as anything done on computer today. Of course, this is long before a computer. You have to remember that those kind of special effects were much more difficult to do then. You had to do them live. Yeah, we spent a lot of time sitting up in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, just the 4 of us, and we'd sing songs. Sometimes they'd break for lunch and forget that we were up there. Leave us. You know, in England, getting enough sunshine to shoot is always a problem. Chris Chalice, who was the cinematographer, a wonderful man, would be standing there waiting for a break in the clouds to come. And it would come, we'd shoot, and finally we ended up in the south of France shooting some of those driving scenes in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. And if you look carefully, you notice we're driving through vineyards. It doesn't look like the English countryside at all.
Tell us a story about pirates, Daddy.
A story about pirates, huh? Well, let me see.
A boat! I can see a boat!
The question I brought up was Baron Bombburst and that whole adventure real, or was it a fantasy? And it was originally written as real, and that it really happened. And we met and talked and talked and talked, and we finally decided that when Chitty starts to fly and Baron Bombburst arrives, that should be fantasy.
That isn't just any old boat out there.
No.
I like the fact that
Never heard of Baron Bombburst, ruler of Bulgaria?
and I like the fact that it's the diametric opposite of a lady and quite reserved.
Think of them?
Courage. Look up, Papa. But this... So? Well,
Goodbye, Jeremy. Goodbye, Jemima.
Bye, Trudy. Will we see you again?
Oh, I expect so. Goodbye.
goodbye. Truly, I'm sorry about the children. I hope they didn't embarrass you.
In what way?
Why, that silly joke about us getting married. Well, you know what kids are like.
Oh, yes, I understand.
I mean, I don't think they realize how ridiculous that would be.
Ridiculous?
Well, yes, I mean, you live in that big house, and your father and the factory and all, it's a different world, truly.
You know, if I said something like that, you'd call me a snob.
Well, look, I didn't mean to...
Goodbye.
Well, don't you want to ride up front? Well, that was a fine picnic, wasn't it? Shall we have another one tomorrow?
We truly is.
Well, Miss Scrumptious has a lot of social engagements, you know.
Are we ever going to see Trudy again, Daddy?
Well, we'll see.
Look! That's not Scrumptious' car.
Well, I believe it is.
I wonder what it's doing here.
Well, I don't know.
Come on.
Excuse me.
Good afternoon.
Are you,
That's right, Dr. Dash Cavalry. Oh, yes, sir. And I and my 2nd Infantry Battalion attacking here from the rear. Attacking from the rear? That's dashed unethical. Artillery, prepare to open fire. Fire! Number 1 Battalion, prepare to advance.
what's going on here?
Ah, there you are, young bots. Been waiting for you. And that was
mind telling me what's going on?
Fancy you being out of bunches, son.
Bungee.
Bungee Potts. Best batman I ever had, weren't you, Potts?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
You mean that you were...
My boy, allow me to introduce to you my brigadier.
You're Brigadier Potts.
Sir?
How about some more tea?
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
As for you, young man, there's a very good chance you may be very rich.
Very rich? What do you mean?
Confounded sweets of yours. Useless for humans, wonderful for dogs. Wolf sweets, that's what we'll call them.
Wolf sweets?
Canine candies. Dogs love them. Make a fortune.
Daddy, Daddy! You've done it, Daddy! You've done it!
Have I?
It's the posh life for us all now, my boy.
We're all going to be rich!
You mean to tell me I invented something that actually works?
Yes, you have. We offer you a contract, Nestle. Sign here, please.
Waiter, don't go away. I'll be right back.
What about the contract?
Daddy, where are you going? Daddy!
What's the matter with the fella?
Well, he's a bit of an eccentric, sir. A genius, of course. But definitely an eccentric. Can't imagine where he gets it from.